welcome to the Unshackled Moms Alliance. I'm Lisa Johnson, and I have such an incredible guest today. You're going to want to hear every single word that she has to say in celebration of November being recognizing adoptions, both nationally and internationally. I asked Elena to come and chat with us. If you like this podcast, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe because we have so many incredible things coming up. But for now, let's get to it. Welcome, Elena.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm excited to be on the podcast. I'm honored.
We are so excited to have you. Okay, let's get to it. So let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's Sound of Music. Okay. What do you know about the circumstances that led your adoptive parents to pursue an international adoption?
Yeah, my parents, they had a friend who was over at the house, and they were adopting a child from Romania, and so they kind of just started going in a conversation about it. And then I have an older sister now, like, from them, and she's like, "You guys are gonna be old, and you're gonna die, and I want a sister." And so, like, just, like, um those 2 circumstances, like, kind of s brought them together, like, "Okay, we want to adopt a child from Romania," and so, they asked, like, all of God's children to, like, send them, like, children, and, I was one of them, and they're like, "That's her," and so here I am.
That's awesome. How long did it take from the time they decided to adopt you till the time you came home?
I think they were supposed to adopt me in March of 2000. I don't know the years or anything, but it
Mm.
was like it was like a 2-year process, I believe. Um, yeah, it was a 2-year process because there's a lot of things happening in Romania at the time. They had
Mhm.
like a really bad, uh, not president,
Leadership?
yeah, leadership.
Yeah.
Really bad leader, and so that put some kinks in it. But ultimately, they got to adopt me at the end.
Yay!
So
That's
yeah,
awesome. So, do you know anything about your, life before the orphanage, your family, or anything like that?
I do not. I know my birth parents' names. That's Nicoleta and Nikolai. And I know that they were too poor to take care of me, so they gave me up for adoption.
Oh, amazing. What an incredibly selfless act
Yeah,
to
it,
make sure that you have a better life.
yeah. I'm honored, and I feel really loved by them. And hopefully, we meet again one day. So that'd be cool.
That would be really cool. How old were you when you were adopted?
I was 3.
You were 3? Oh
I was
my
3,
goodness.
but I was the size of my niece, who's 19 pounds. So I was
Oh
very
my
malnourished.
goodness.
So
Wow. What an incredible adventure that must have been for your parents to bring this really small baby home and, being able to nourish her back to health.
yeah, my mom, she's a nurse, and so she like immediately saw like all the medical issues, and she's okay. We need this, 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 and like the doctors that she knew, they're like cancel this, cancel that. Okay, Elena, we're gonna take care of Elena, and so just with the help of multitude of people, I am where I am right now. So
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So last week we talked to Lisa, another Lisa, and she was sharing about she has an organization that helps orphans around the world, and she was sharing that there was a 16-year-old girl that had never left her crib. And so she had I don't called like frog syndrome, but her legs were all up and her like and that like permanently is how she is. But she has this beautiful home and loving family. And so, it does it there's all kinds of things that happen over there. And then, to be able to come home and have that loving, supportive family is so important.
yeah, and um, yeah, and a lot of people like they don't like they get adopted, and like I don't know if like I don't know their home situation, but like some people might not have that, while other people and like I was one of the people like who got a very loving family, very nurturing family,
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm very fortunate for sure.
Yeah. 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 So, when you think back on your earliest memories of joining your adoptive family, what stands out the most?
Um, the first car ride, my sister Caitlin was right next to me, and I just like remember throwing up and 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 uh and I, and then I kept throwing up, but that's a memory that I remember for some reason. And then I remember the sparkling water for some reason in Romania. And that's about it. Like that's when we were at Romania when they
Yep.
were adopting me. So
Yep.
the first
My
couple,
gosh.
yeah,
It was a rough start, but
yeah. But
okay.
things are smoothing out.
Yeah, exactly. Did your parents talk openly about adoption, and did you know from all the time you were little growing up that you were adopted?
I did. Yeah, they're super open about it. And they, yeah, just like grew up saying like you're adopted and like you're part of the family. And like over the years, it has felt like I'm not adopted in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yep.
Like I'm just like part of them. And yeah, so I have to remind myself sometimes that I'm adopted. I'm like, oh wait, I am adopted from Romania. So
I love that though because, I love that. It just is a seamless bond. Did you guys talk about it growing up? Talk about being adopted? Did you ask questions about Romania or anything like that? Were you curious that way?
I think I was curious. I was more curious about my birth parents and like who they were.
Yep.
But they couldn't give me answers just because uh, they just don't have the information. But I know, like, I was watching a movie, August Rush, and that's about adoption, and, that hit my heart, pretty big, um, and then I was like, "Oh, I am impacted by this a little bit." So but it was good. I don't remember the question. Oh gosh.
That's okay. Do you want to adopt someday?
Um, Probably.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, um I don't see it in the near future, but maybe in the far future, I think it'd
Yeah.
be cool
Yeah.
to adopt a child from Romania. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be really cool. Get the same nationality going.
Yeah.
S- So, what emotions or challenges have been the hardest for you to can you name or even admit to yourself
Um,
as far as adoption goes and that whole piece? Like, what has really been the struggle?
I think the bond between me and my parents, my sister and I bond great. Like
Yep.
my, you know how like birth children have like that super like knitted bond like off the
Yep.
bat, and like you can feel like the depth of it. You can feel that bond with that person.
Yep.
Um, I don't feel that with my parents. So there's a little bit of a tug and pull there. And like not that we don't have a great bond, we do, but like I just don't feel like that like running to mom or like running to dad and it being like,
Yep.
oh, it's like it's your birth mom, it's your birth dad, like um but I still have the feeling of like mom and dad, but
Yeah. I think that that's pretty normal. I know I don't think that Caleb has had that, like, Caleb adores me, and for those who are listening who don't know, Caleb is my youngest adopted, and I adopted him when he was 5, and he loves me, and I am mom, but it's not that deep connection that you would have if you were, if, birth. Like, he has had moments. I don't think he feels that way anymore, but he has moments growing up where he was like, I'm adopted. I don't belong in this family. I just am kind of like the odd person out, and
yeah.
like it that broke my heart when he told me that because I was just like, I God just created a special circumstance for him to be in my life, and I just
Mhm.
always saw him as this is my kid. As much as I saw CJ, my oldest, like these are my boys, right?
Yeah.
Always. And when I found out when he was a teenager that he was like, you know. I just have always felt the odd man out, like, I'm adopted, I'm not, like, part of the family, I was just like, What? Like, I couldn't b it took me a while to kinda acclimate to that.
Yeah, that's difficult. Um, I've always, like, seen it as, like, a privilege. Like, I don't know, I've never seen it as, like, a bad thing.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
in that case, I can't relate there, but, um, I hope that gets better, like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's good now, but we
Oh,
went
good.
through it's that preteen, teenage year that he
Oh,
just really
for
struggled with
sure.
that, but we're good now. Yeah. So, okay, did you ever feel pressure to be grateful that you were adopted, which you kinda talked a little bit before.
I don't think I've ever felt pressured. I just know, like,
You just were.
my what was that?
You just were grateful.
Yeah, yeah, I was just grateful, and yeah, I was just grateful for, like, the new family I had, and I just knew that there was something like, when I got adopted, I knew that there's a shift, and I knew that,
Mhm.
something different's about to happen, and I'm not going back to
Yeah,
Romania. So, like,
yeah.
I somehow inadvertently knew that, and so but I've along the way, I've always been like, "Oh, I'm adopted," and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool, you're adopted?" Like, "Yeah,"
Yeah,
so I like to tell my story a little bit, and,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. So, do you have pictures of you when you were still in Romania?
Oh, yeah, we have,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5
Oh my
albums.
goodness, that's a
Not
lot.
not of just me. There's, like, 2 of me and my family, but we have, like, for the whole family, yeah.
Have you gone back to Romania?
I have not. Um, I, uh I was supposed to plan a trip to Romania a
Yeah.
couple years back, but that just never, came fast, but, I don't know how to plan. I'm not a very good planner, so it hasn't so I haven't planned where to go,
You
but
gotta know your strengths, yeah.
eventually. Yeah,
I love that. Okay. Many adoptees talk about struggling with belonging or not quite filling in either place. And we touched a tiny bit on that, especially in my story, but, have you ever felt that?
I have, but not, like actually a little bit. I felt it a little bit, um, with, like, my family, like, with, like, my parents separating and stuff, like, I
Mhm.
just, like, I see, um, I don't know, like, I see a little bit more of, like, my sister, like, being theirs, um, but I also, like, see me, like, being theirs as well, but it's, like, I don't know, like, something about the whole, like, separation has, like, honed in of, like I can see the resemblance of, like, my sister with dad, or I see the resemblance between her and mom, and it's, like so sometimes there's a little disconnect there, but,
Yeah.
other than that, I've it's more so in group settings. I yeah, group settings, I don't really feel like I belong, but, I'm trying to work on that.
Like family group sittings when you're with extended family and that kinda thing?
Yeah,
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. So the divorce had a huge or separation had a bigger impact on you than it did. I mean, yes, it probably hurt your sister, but it had like as a whole different level.
yeah, I yeah, like, I haven't really thought about, like, the impact it's had, like, I know what I did afterwards, I, like,
Yeah.
sought validation in other men, um, and so, like, I guess I don't know, like, it's, so I haven't thought about, the divorce, yeah, sorry,
Yeah, it
I'm
was just
trying
really hard. And
yeah,
even with the extended family, also hard. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. How has adopted shaped the way that you view yourself, your identity, your worth, and your story?
um, I think I feel special, I don't feel, um like, out of place or anything. I feel
Yeah.
like not that I just feel like God's hand, like, I can just see God's hand in my life, like, all throughout it, and,
Yep.
like, it's cool to see, I didn't do anything to be adopted, and so, for that identity part, I I don't know, I think I've put adoption as my identity a little bit,
Mhm.
um, and I guess it can't be taken away, you know? Um,
So you see yourself as special because of the adoption.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. And I
yeah.
think that that is a unique perspective. I mean, I'm grateful for you that you feel that way. So what would you want adoptive parents or parents that are considering adoption to understand about the emotional experience of adoption? What kind of things do you think that they need to know?
Um, there probably isn't gonna be the deep connection that you're thinking there's going to be, of, like we talked about earlier, just, there's gonna be, a little bit of a distance or a wall,
Mhm. Yep.
um, and so I think just, preparing for that, and
Y
I you could I'm not a parent, so I don't know how to parent or tell a parent how to, view adoption, but, I don't know, I think just open arms, be very, nurturing because you don't know the
Mhm.
circumstances that they've come from. You'll have, some background, but, the depths of it,
Yep.
so just, ease into it gently, I guess. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Well, yeah, and I think that there are like I have friends who couldn't have children, and so they adopted a baby, and they're like, "Well, I'm taking this baby home from the hospital. It'll be just like I gave birth, right?" And then
Mhm.
they find that that child still feels adopted, right? Like it's still like there's still that little bit of a missing piece, and so I think that it's so important for parents to know and and just be able to embrace whoever you have as a whole child, no matter what that looks like, adoption. And it's easy to say that, but it's harder to live that, right? Because you put so much love, because it is, from a parent's perspective, it is your baby, your child. And you put so much love and pour into them. And then, to have that little bit of a disconnect, I think it's important to know that going in.
Yeah. My parents, I see their love for me in, different ways,
Hmm.
and, they still pour into me even though, there's still that little disconnect, so, just keep pouring in, just keep loving, and,
Yep.
you know, you'll have your relationship, so.
Yeah, that's great advice. Okay, so was there a turning point in your healing, either with your parents or within yourself?
Um, not so much from adoption, but just,
Like
mental
through
health
that
stuff.
separation?
Oh, through the separation?
Yeah. I don't know. You can answer it however you want.
I don't think so. I think there's just a little bit of a longing of who my birth parents are. So
Yeah.
there's that to heal from, the adoption wound. So I think
Yeah.
that there's an adoption wound of abandonment.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't abandoned, I
Yeah.
um I think that's the biggest thing that I'm trying to heal from. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. You find like it just feels like a little piece of yourself is if your heart is just like open and bare.
yeah,
Like and only one little puzzle piece will go in there and then you may never have that
yeah,
closure. Yeah.
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 That's a good way to look at it.
So what helped you begin accepting or processing your story, therapy, faith, community, something else?
Definitely my faith. I see like a I just see the little details of my story being woven together by
Mhm.
God's hand, and if I look back on it, I'm like it's nothing but God. He's like orchestrated all of this, and I didn't do anything to be adopted. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
so cool to just see "Okay, I'm gonna put you into this family, and that's gonna lead you to me, and then whatever else from there."
Was it easier to accept that whole, salvation message of, you're adopted into this, family of Christ because you already were adopted?
Um, I never, like when I accepted Christ, I didn't actually know what I was doing.
Okay.
I like I knew I needed to be saved, and so I accepted Jesus, but I never the connection between adoption and being adopted into God's family
Yep.
never connected until like my youth pastor was like, "Can you use you as an example?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "So Elena's adopted, and that's the same thing with God. Like when you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, like you become a child of God. Like He adopts you into His family." And so I think
You're
that's
sitting there going, "Wow, that is really true."
yeah, yeah, like, on point, you
Yeah,
nailed it.
exactly. Totally
Yeah,
can relate now.
yeah,
Okay, what do you wish that your parents had known or done differently when you were younger?
um, I guess probably just, like, dug deeper into the birth parent thing, like,
Mhm.
and, like, get, like, more information or, like, a way, like, to connect with them if they could, but
Yeah.
they probably have tried that, it's just, like, there's a lot of hoops and stuff that um, isn't they can't get through. But, that and, like, just keeping, like, I guess speaking Romanian, because
Mhm.
Romanian's a whole new language, like, we didn't do much Romanian things, it was just like, "Okay, now you're gonna adapt to our world." So it
Yeah.
wasn't much of
Vice versa, where
like
they're adapting to yours.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but it's, like, slowly like, we're starting to do, like, Romanian meals now, so it's
Oh, that's
coming
awesome.
full circle, so
That's good. That's good. Okay. So what encouragement would you give parents who are parenting a child that has trauma or attachment wounds? Like what would have helped you? I know you're not a parent, but what would have helped you in those times where you were just really struggling with who you are because you didn't know your birth parents and those pieces.
um I promise I looked at the questions. I just, like, am freezing up. Um, I don't know, like, I'm I guess to sit down and, like, just like, "Hey, I see you, and I see that you're struggling. Can, like, we talk about it?" And just, like, being a soundboard, for them and just listening and, um, empathy and compassion. Like, my sister's really good at that. She's, like she gets it like, I don't know, like just more of what Caitlin does, but I can't really explain that. Like a
Where's
lot of
Caitlin when you need her?
right? She's at home.
No, I love that. I think that that is so important because I think sometimes, not you, but I think sometimes, um, kids push the boundaries as hard as they can, right? So because they want to know, okay, if I do this, will you still love me? If I do this, will
Yeah,
you still love me? And so seeing it through the filter of everything that you just said, that compassion, kindness, empathy, remembering that sometimes it's hard to, you just go, oh, I am the boss. You're going to do it right as
yeah,
parents. And so to just take a step back and go, okay, this child is pushing this boundary because they're hurting in some way. They need something from me, like it
mhm,
just is coming alongside your kiddo and trying to figure out what's going on.
yeah, yeah, and like I guess like try and figure out what's going on. So just like trying to don't try to fix the problem right away. I guess just
Yep.
try to sit with them and hear
Yep.
them out.
Yep, I love that. I love that. So you have a whole different outlet for you to express yourself. And I have truly seen what an incredible artist that you are. So when did you discover art as a passion?
Um, Around 2010,
So you're
I
about 10 you're about 13?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. I'm 29 now, so
Yeah.
it's I don't whatever
Do the
age I
math,
w
would you?
yeah, yeah, I was in 10th grade in high school.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
So close, 14, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so, was it an art class, or how did you discover that you had this
So
passion?
I was at a church camp and, like, the pastor was, like he stopped preaching and he started painting, and he said that, like, he had been diagnosed with leukemia and,
Mhm.
and art became his outlet, and, like, he was painting just, like, random lines and stuff, and you didn't know what he was painting until, like, the end of it. He flips it around and it's Jesus' face.
That's awesome.
Um, and then, like, I just felt like the Holy Spirit just be like, "I'm calling you to do art." And I'm like, I've never touched a canvas, I've never painted before, and so, like, the Saturday that we got back home, my aunt had gotten me a canvas, like, a couple years prior, and so I grabbed it and went in the garage, grabbed some house paint brushes, and did my first abstract art piece, and it hung in my dad's house for a while. So,
Yep, that is exactly your style, it's abstract, and it is beautiful. It is
thank you.
beautiful. You're gonna someday, I know, someday all the big galleries are gonna be demanding to have, one of your originals in their gallery. I know it. So,
Thank you.
does creativity play a role in your healing or processing emotions?
Yes, a big part. I like I like to do big pieces
Mhm,
because it gives me more space to just think and, like,
mhm,
process, like, whatever I'm going through at the time, and, like, it's funny because, like, when I'm in a dark spot, I use bright colors, and then when I'm in a bright like, when I'm good, I use, like I still use bright colors, but I'm using more neutral colors with the bright colors, so, I don't know, someone told me that, like, your painting expresses what's going on inside of you,
yep.
and I was like so that was interesting when they told me that.
That is really interesting. In fact, now I'm gonna look at your paintings with a whole different lens. Oh, she painted this, she was happy. Oh, she painted this, we were going through a dark time because there's a lot of
Yeah,
bright colors on that one.
yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your art business. What do you create and how has it evolved?
I'm in the beginning process of my art business of, like, allowing people to come and paint just 'cause, like, I never knew I could paint. Like, I didn't know how much of an outlet it was, how much peace it gave me, and just, like, it gave me a place to get all my thoughts out. And it didn't have to be something, it could just be the colors and, like, I connected with that.
Mhm.
And I want other people to do that, so I just, like, I just did, like, a event last Friday,
Mhm.
and, like, I had a canvas, like, a community canvas where, like, people would walk by, and I was like, "Oh, you can paint on the canvas for free," and so they're like, I don't paint," and I'm like, "No, you can paint, I promise." So, like, I gave them the paintbrush, and I was like, "Pick your colors," and they painted, and, they came out really pretty, like, the pieces it's like a square, and it has everybody's painting on it, and so it looks like one big masterpiece, and it's just like God that's how God is, like, He's the creator, and He allows us to create with Him.
Yep.
So it's like, I think I just wanna give, like, a visual of that and just, like, allow them to connect with, God through art.
I love that. So you do in-person classes, but you don't do online classes yet, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that person that's listening to you in Ohio and who is like, "Oh my gosh, I really want her to do a class." That isn't happening yet, but it could happen in the future.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So, what inspired you to begin teaching others to paint? Just that whole piece of, if I can do it and it's an outlet, then you can do it, or is there anything else?
Yeah. I think it's I s the motivation is I have met a lot of people who used to create, but,
Mhm.
like, they've stopped creating because of work and or because of life. It's
Yep.
like, I think that creativity and life go hand in hand, like, it's the outlet from life of, like, processing what's going on in life where if you don't have words, you have a canvas and paint.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so it, like, broke my heart of, like, "You used to create. Why aren't you creating?"
Yes.
And it's always been people who are, like, super talented, like, and they just like, "No, I'm a plumber now." And I'm like, "You were rapping last year, like, wait, I have it your album, like, and I did an album cover for you. Like, why are you a plumber? Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
continue, like." And yeah, it's just like we just let the creativity go because because we get comfortable in whatever job we're doing, and I just wanna try to help people dream again.
Wow, that is so incredibly good because you are so right. Life happens. I think like we start off elementary school, we got the clay, we make the decoupage, we do all the different stuff, or like we have that whole creativity piece. And then middle school comes and then people like make fun of our pieces maybe, or we don't have the outlet anymore. And then high school comes and then, we grow up and it just is harder and harder the older you get to get back into touch with your creativity, creative side. So I love what you said that. I think, is so incredibly true.
Yeah, and hopefully this, sparks just and that's why it's called one seed is because I want it to be, like, one seed that, like, over time just grows, and it's like, "Oh, I remember that painting experience that I had. Let me go buy some paint and canvas," or, "Let me go come back and paint again," like, and then just, like, help them heal through whatever they're going through art, and or just, like, to have fun. Like, it doesn't always have to be about healing, but just throw some paint on canvas and be super joyous about it.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so how can people work with you or how can they, see your artwork and maybe purchase some artwork?
I have an Instagram, elena.kilgore.art. Elena is E-L oh, you can see it on the bottom of the screen, right?
Well, yes, but I also anything you like any of those links or anything that you send me, I'll put it in the description too, so it'll be easy to just click on it.
Okay, cool. I'll send that to you for sure.
Okay. Do you have an
Uh,
Instagram? Do
yes,
you have an Etsy store or no?
I do, but I'm not using it right now just
Okay.
'cause yeah. Um, Instagram and email is probably the best.
Okay. So I'll put your email and your Instagram in the description
Okay.
and then people can find you that way. And then if they want to message you for more detail, then that's fine. But where is your shop located? It's located in Florida, right?
Oh, I don't have a brick and mortar yet. I just
But I
paint at
mean, if
home.
they want to take actual physical classes from you, are you doing those in Florida or no?
Yeah, I'm doing it in
Yeah.
Citrus County. Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, and if you want more information, you can message her about that too. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit more because you have so many incredible layers. So let's talk a little bit about you shared that being a Christian and navigating attraction to women has been a deeply personal journey. What does wrestling like that with that look like?
A lot of painting actually. Like the painting and that goes hand in hand. Whenever I have feelings for a woman, I go to the canvas instead of like pursuing them in the way that I desired to. Um, and so I, yeah, it's like I go to the canvas and I paint, but also like when I'm around them, I have boundaries and like I have to keep my thoughts like not on the lustful thoughts. I have to like just like dwell on okay, this is reality. Like I have to tell myself this is reality. Like they work with me. This is the circumstance that I've been given with them, and don't try to change that circumstance, but just like
Yeah.
be in the moment and just be yourself, but also just know your boundaries.
So can we back up a little bit? Can
Yeah.
you share a little bit about your story?
Oh yeah.
Like how like what happened? How like I know you, but not everybody knows you. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about what happened and give me your little bit of background, what your struggles and those kind of things.
Um, I started liking women in 12th grade. I had
Mhm.
my first the first time I had feelings for someone, um, and I was like, "I have no idea what to do with this." Like, I didn't have anybody to go run to. I wasn't pursuing the Lord at the time, so I kinda just kept it to myself, and then,
You
like,
didn't pursue that relationship?
try to pursue it in a friendship way, like, always try to pursue, like, because I think, like, it gets perverted and, like, the attraction gets perverted when it's like, "This is a friendship that I have for you." So I've always tried to, pursue the friendship, but then they I always get shut down or rejected, and
Mhm.
it's that's pretty much the cycle of, like, I have feelings and then they reject.
Yeah. Well, I
So
think it's a really incredibly vulnerable place to put yourself. Right? So, like, not only is if you're attracted to a boy, then, like, it's still nerve-wracking, and you're still putting yourself out, and it's still kind of traumatic, but when you're a girl and you're pursuing a girl in high school, there's a whole 'nother layer of, vulnerability and, like, "Okay, I just gotta keep to myself," right?
yeah, yeah, and it's like you can't didn't have one to say, "Hey, I have feelings for this person, um, how do I navigate it?" So, like, I just, like, I condemned myself a lot until, like, God brought Jonathan into my life. He, like, encouraged me, and that was the first time that, like, I learned, like, God loves me and, that he has good plans for me, and that he wasn't mad at me for liking women. And then, like, from there, I was watching, Netflix, and I was watching The Heart of Man, and Jackie Hill Perry came on, and I didn't know who she was at the time, but that was my first interaction with a Chris I it that was my first, yeah, first interaction with, like, a Christian person who went through the same thing, and I was like like, I then started following her and, like, I read her book, Gay Girl, Good God. That helped me a lot, and then slowly, I once I learned what God said about sexuality and, like, I then started talking about it and opening up about it, but I had a lot of rejection wounds from the church, but also from people, like yeah, like, there's a lot of church hurt, but Jesus never hurt me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you say to the parent who has a teenage girl or boy for that matter who is really struggling with that? Like, how could your parents have come alongside you better? Who did you talk to? Were you able to talk openly in your family? Like, share a little bit about that because I know that there are families right now that are listening and they're like, okay, well, what did she do? How did it like kind of walk us through that a little bit?
um, I went to my aunt, so I had a, like, I went to my aunt, and I, like, opened up to her, and, like, she was just very gracious, welcoming, and she, like, just pointed me to the truth, and, like, she loved me despite my attractions, but she never condemned me for it. I think that, like, once you like, she didn't share her opinions about it, she just allowed me to be me, and, like
So
yeah,
hopefully parents have enough of a loving relationship with their kiddo that when they're sharing that, that you can just even no matter what you feel about it or how you feel about it, just take a step back and really listen to your child share because it's hard to to be vulnerable and to share this, especially if you come from a Christian family
yeah,
or any of the other like Muslim or any of the other religions where it's like strictly forbidden and so now you're like saying, okay, well, I know that it's forbidden, but I have these feelings and I'm not sure what to do with it. So if a child is opening up to you, it's important to show, like we talked a little bit about before, the empathy, compassion, be
yeah,
able to take a step back, maybe go to a friend and say, I can't believe it. What am I doing? Like that. But to your child is not that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
um
When did you share with your parents what happened and how you were feeling?
They
On
learned
this
through social
podcast? No, just
media.
kidding. What?
Yeah, I never, like, shared it, like, face to face with them.
Mhm.
I did I did like a girl at the time, and I told my dad, and he kinda just had, like, a super straight face, and I was like, "Uh," but, like, he still loves me, and he still, like, adores me and all that, so, um, but my mom is very open to talking to me about it,
Yep.
and so that helps a lot, and, like, she asks me asking questions is very helpful because I feel seen,
Mhm.
and then, like, you're learning about it as well, like, like, showing interest in, "Oh, how are you feeling? Like, what does this look like for you?" And,
Mhm.
like, just asking questions and, like, "Okay," and, like, "How can I" that's pretty much, like, how my parents, uh, reacted was like, "Okay, how can we help you with this?" And, like, not not tell you to pursue it, but how do we nurture you and comfort you through this trial? And
That
so
is so good.
yeah, yeah,
So good.
they reacted pretty well. So
Yeah, and the
yeah,
things that you were sharing about what people need to share and what helped you, amazing. Like, just those some fantastic little piece right there. Okay, so what would you say to someone who feels like they have to choose between faith and being honest about their identity?
um, always go like always put Jesus first. And it sounds like cliche, like, put Jesus first, but like people are going to have their opinions about you.
Mhm.
People are going to say you're this, you're that, like, no matter who you are. And so, like, getting in the word and, like, just sitting and, like, reading it and seeing that, like, God loves you, He adores you, there's no condemnation for you, like, you've been set free from sin, um, and learning that your identity is in Christ and that, like, your identity goes from a sinner to a saint,
Yep.
and, like, that, like, you're now a child of God and that's your identity. It's no longer, like, what you said it is, it's now what he says about you, and, like, it's always gonna be uplifting and encouraging whenever he speaks to you and speaks to your heart, whereas, like, when other people speak to you, it might be tearing you down. So,
That is
yeah.
so good, Elena. That's great. Okay, so you're working on a devotional or resources for others. What inspired it and who's it for? And tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm writing a devotional for people who are same-sex attracted, and, um, it's being written for like, people who have walked away from the faith because of it, and
Mhm.
how, like, and that I just want the devotional to, um, be an avenue where they can know that they can go to the Lord with it and about it, and so I'm writing my prayers down and, like, God's response and, like, scripture, like, backs it up, and so because, like, it wasn't until I started going to the Lord about it that the condemnation went away, the guilt went away, and, yeah, so and I think, um, just, like, the more that you don't try to take control of it, not control, but, like, I don't know where I was going with this, I'm so sorry, but, yeah, it was I was with a friend, Riley, um, when the idea popped into my head because we were talking about, just, like, our individual struggles. I shared to her about my same-sex attraction, and, um, and we were walking out to the car, and I was like, "What if we, like, wrote a devotional on, like, how to, like, pursue the Lord in our, um, like, in our struggles instead of apart from it?" And she said, "That's a great idea." So, like, I dedicated the book to her, um, and so, yeah, it's like I just really want people to know that they can go to the Lord in the midst of it,
Yeah.
not apart from it. And,
Yeah.
like, it's like yeah, so, like, you go you can just keep coming back to the Lord with it, and, like, you get more, like, pure and pure and pure, like, your thoughts become more pure, and you get sanctified, and, yeah, you feel better about yourself,
I
and
love that.
yeah.
So, will you come back when you have it written and come back and share a little bit more about it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah,
love it.
I
Okay,
I'd love
thank
to.
you so much for being here today. I just have
Thank
loved
you.
this conversation. So I'm hoping that those who are out there will connect with you and see all your beautiful art because it's amazing.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.